Mysterious kid.
Which child shall we interrogate next?
Paimon's thinking. Oh, how about that little guy on the bridge? No!
Well, that is...
Timmy's imaginary friend? Paimon's freaking out.
What?
Huh? Paimon has a favorite line? How about we explore... Children are more open-minded. Is that why they can think up all kinds of imaginary...
Fitting.
What about adults' imaginations? Let's ask some adults at the tavern.
The thing about wine is...
Seems to me you'd find... Just drink...
Oh, and it's...
Throw you out?
You know, the same way...
I see no reason to...
Is that so?
Sorry.
That's odd.
Seems our suspicions were right.
Like I said, a lack of...
So people just...
Let's... How about Ellen? Someone of her age surely must have some imagination left, don't you think?
Uh-oh. Somehow Paimon finds the idea of not being able to see Ellen's imaginary friend kinda scary.
Time to go.
Useless.
Jean? What is Jean doing here? Is Master Jean Ellen's imaginary friend? So she's so
Oh,
Are you always...
you bet. I hope so that you can fight shoulder to...
Seems Ellen really...
I was thinking... how can I smash all these training dummies at once? Shame. Didn't man... So that's how to do it. I'm impressed. Oh, thank you.
So modest.
Ellen...
Thanks. Shoot, I got... but I'm so... Honorary knight. Could you deliver a mess? He's a friend of mine. Recently started it. We were gonna meet up tonight and discuss... If I'm not mistaken, you should find him at the town. Stanley's a truly legendary adventurer. Great.
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
The Temple of the Lion? We explored this place once before, didn't we? During the Storm Terror incident. Seems like it's now a hot spot for advent. Looks like we can't go any further.
Not to worry, allow me. Those who wander in the dust, the wind shall send soaring sky high.
We didn't bag all the loot last time!
Yeah.
One with nature.
Yahoo! Born of ice and Let's light it up! Access denied. Brace yourselves.
Into the wind.
Here we go.
Hey, are those guys...
Dreamwork. Time for takeoff. Born of ice and frost.
One with nature.
As one with wind and cloud.
I was so sure I was a.
To be fair, that... So, you must...
Yes.
Actually, we...
Ellen has a message for you.
Oh, I see.
Huh? I don't see.
Whoa!
Well then, how would everyone like to proceed?
In which case?
Okay, motion passed by unanimous consent. Let's head further in.
So, I'm guessing you mostly came here because you want to hear my adventure stories. Am I right?
No, we really were just looking for Jack.
What? Do you know who I am? I am Stanley, renowned adventurer of Mondstadt.
Yeah, I think we got that.
Your attitude says maybe you don't got that. I am Stanley, the living legend. Stanley who braved the Manjabari.
Enough already! Start name-dropping yourself every time you open your mouth!
It's true, though. Stanley is the most amazing guy.
Well, Jack will listen, won't you? Now, where was I?
You and your partner reached the Mer Jabari, a famously terrifying place with not a wisp of wind.
Precisely! There was a deathly silence in the air. A sea of ashes stretched out before us, as far as the eye could see. Suddenly, my partner was caught in a whirlpool whipped up by an evil beast. Luckily, I managed to grab hold of him just in time.
Wow. So, did he make it?
Sadly, in the end, I loathed it except for the whole world of you. Gentle breeze carried away the tears welling up in my eyes.
Poor guy. How could that happen?
Jack, You can't cry so easily if you want to be a great adventurer.
I know. Because an adventurer's proudest achievement.
Traveler, I believe I've made a... Could I ask you to use the Nernama detector?
What? Stanley has an imaginary...
It seems his imaginary friend is a seasoned warrior, covered in scars from head to foot. You're saying his imaginary friend is an ideal... Interesting idea.
Please excuse.
Bye, Stanley. Do you two still have time to...
What is it?
A few days ago, the weapons he took on his adventure... I don't... Since you guys are the experts, I don't know. If I can just get right now... So, what... I can't bring my...
Aw, poor Jack. Venti.
Oh, one other thing.
Dada Upa Gorge, what? Useless. Useless.
One with nature.
Here! I'm going in!
Into the wind. Time to go.
Hey, that bunch of youth churls. Are they holding some kind of ceremony? And what's with that pile of knickknacks? Are they worshipping them?
Seems so. That must be the Sword of Brilliant Valor, surely! Conquering! Worthless! Here! Worthless! Here! Everybody stand! Boring!
Into the wind.
Lo and behold, the Sword of Brilliant Valor.
Are you sure? Looks kind of basic. Why would hilly trolls be bowing down before a piece of junk like this?
Seems somebody tossed an old sword into a pile of spoils these hilly trolls were already...
This is in terrible shape. And it's so basic, I'm at a...
Say, Jack, have you ever seen an Animo crystal fly? They're found in the open country around months. If you saw one in broad daylight, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. But in the pitch blackness of night, it's brilliant. Is valor not the same? When everything is going your way, it seems meaningless. Fades into the background. But when you're in dire straits, valor is the thing that gets you
You're right.
Let's scout around.
There's somebody there.
Stanley?
He's acting...
What happened? Why did you...
Huh? Oh, it's...
What? Wait...
Maybe another...
Useless.
Boring!
Lo and behold,
Liar, liar! A chunk of scrap wood with that.
There's also wine stains on it.
and yet my bards warriors wear their battle surely in though the soldier's body be tired and torn, still they fight till the very end, till they have no blood left to bleed. Such magnificent.
You do have a. Okay then. Ahem. Well, okay. You take it from here. Hope you've picked up. Seems cheerful enough. Maybe negotiating will work after all. Seems cheerful enough. Maybe negotiating will work after all. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah!
Guys, thank you so much. Mom, Dad, check out.
Hey, the wine, you promised! What are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing here, Bard? Fancy that, huh?
Oh, that's right. An after-dinner stroll, to be precise. We were also helping a friend.
I'm starting to think Stanley might be a fraud. Did Stanley plant the sword and shield here in advance so as to not hurt Jack?
Adventurers must be pretty familiar with
You.
Wow. Then I admire.
It's only to be expected of a great event. I'll get back to my,
Guilty conscience much?
Well, he shouldn't have gotten so carried away. Although, on further reflection, I must say I'm someone who can't let go of the past. I wonder.
What are you talking about?
Anyway.
Tell me, Stanley.
Huh? Why does he keep repeating his own name? Could there be another?
Oh, it's... If only you hadn't had to save a rookie like me, you would have never died in that windless corner. You were a renowned adventurer, destined to become a legend one day. But now...
I think our friend really did make it to the Mare Javari. And I think the tragedy he encountered there was real too. But the real adventurer, the real Stanley, the real Stanley is the one who died to save our Stanley.
Wait, so the only reason our Stanley is called Stanley in the first place is because he stole the other Stanley's name?
I fear that may.
Stanley, for so many years I've lived in fear. Mondstadt must remember. Stanley reached the center of the Mare Javari. Stanley will never die. I'm sorry, Stanley. Are you guys planning on eavesdropping much longer?
Yikes!
You know, I'm glad the tavern isn't overcrowded.
Go away.
But
Leave now.
Honorary Knight! Venti! I've been looking for you everywhere. I wanted to thank you again for helping me find the sword and shield.
Oh,
Yeah, really.
that's wonderful.
No, not yet. I still don't have what it takes to go too far from home. Besides, I'm sure Stanley still has a few stories left to tell. Stanley, we'll see you tomorrow then.
Stanley's really fond of that kid.
Jack.
Jack left.
Oh, I see.
Huh? All of a sudden, you're facing the fact?
Just now, I couldn't bear to look at him. His adventurous spirit is so pure, unblemished. Just a weary old feckless fraud. But that kid is a brand new shining star, full of
You're not a total fraud.
stories. To be honest, my memories of adventuring and of Stanley, they're hazy. That's my biggest secret of all, and my biggest fear. All these years, I've been living to tell his story. But his personality and the details of his life, I don't remember them clearly anymore. But the one thing I can never forget is that he died in a windless land.
Exactly. Even in his memory. Instead,
I'm too old. I'm complete. No adventurer should have.
Hans Archibald.
My true name? How did you know? The wind. I can hear the wind blowing in the Mare Javari. I always believed you existed.
Will you hand me your old friend's spirit?
Thank you all. And I'm sorry. It's gonna, but.
Ah, wonderful. This calls for a
And by libate?
I'll head off to fetch the wine.
Huh? Where's that supposed to be? Why has Paimon never heard of...
One with nature.
You made it.
Just tell us where...
Yep. Well, when actually it's just a half bottle of The first time I saw this view, I hadn't even taken on this form yet. It was about 2,600 years ago, before the world had come under the rule of the Seven. At that time, old Mondstadt was ruled by a tyrant who sealed off the city's perimeter with a ferocious hurricane. Even the birds couldn't get in or out.
Old Mondstadt? Oh, Paimon remembers! Nowadays it's known as Storm Terror's...
That's right. The tyrant of the winds who once ruled from that tower was... Back then, I was just a tiny elemental being who lived in the wind. A gentle breeze bringing subtle...
A tiny elemental...
Yep. In old Mondstadt transpired the story to be told, where a tyrant ruled. I met a boy not that old. The lyre he played, and for a song he sought. But storm walls blocked blue sky. He was sincerely distraught. I do so wish to see the birds in flight, said he, his strong eyes filling with light. But his voice was lost in the howling wind's churn, for the whirlwind takes and gives not in return. The true sky and songs that cageless soar, were they not wishes worth fighting for? So the boy turned, extending his hand. Let us cast down the tyrant and his walls from this land. The young boy raised then the flag of revolt, and I threw myself into freedom's tumult. Victorious were we who fought to be free. Gods fell, winds whipped, nations shook violently. In the smoke, a despot met his doom, and we watched as his great tower fell none too soon. Mondstadt began anew, the story passed down, and since then never has another worn its crown.
So then what? What happened to your friend?
Say, Paimon, do you wish—
Yes, of course! The suspense is killing Paimon! Now's the time—
getting a little peckish or something? You know, you're so smart it almost makes me uncomfortable. But then, maybe it's right that true friends can tell what— a refreshing drink, a gent back to a song that I first heard from him. Fly, fly away. Like a bird in the sky. See the world on my behalf. To the heavens may you fly.